Hello, my beautiful goddesses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Polkis, your life coach, and I'm over here in my backyard. I have a fire trying to go on in the backyard, in the background, and it's a little chilly. I have my sweater on. I have my coffee with me, so the mood is set for us to talk about marriage. Yes, we're going to be talking about marriage. If you are a woman that is in your late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, or late 30s, and what you really desire is marriage, start a family, have kids, stay and watch this video. If you're new to my YouTube channel, welcome. I am Polkis, your life coach, and in this channel is where we talk everything about inner work, personal development. We talk about the energetics of money, everything that is going to elevate us to become the goddess that we're here to be. Because all the women are very powerful. We have a power inside of us that is like the power of the goddess. Sometimes we forget we have it, but I'm here to help you awaken that power of the goddess that you have inside of you. This topic, I already have a YouTube video in Spanish about this topic, so this is the translation for it. And we're going to be talking about how to really start preparing yourself for marriage. And are you even ready for marriage? Many times we think that we are ready for marriage, but our intentions are not aligned. We don't even know what we want. We don't even know what we want in a partner. And this is where the confusion process starts happening, because you don't have your things set or your values set for you to calling your man or your future husband. So what I see in the coaching industry, when I work with my clients, when I do like YouTube, and even in Spanish, some ladies talk to me and they're like, you know what, I am trying to get married, but he won't propose. Or I'm trying to get married, but I don't find like nice people to date. Like all good men are taken. And the truth about this is that those are limiting beliefs. If you believe that all men are married and taken, then your eyes are trained to only see that as your reality. So you're only seeing good men that are married, and you're not noticing the good men that are single and ready to be providers and marry you. But we need to start retraining our subconscious, retraining our eyes to notice those guys, because right now what you're noticing is the things that you believe. So if you believe that men are bad, then you're going to notice only the men that are trashy, or the men that are dusty, the men that are not okay to date. They're predators, or they just want to take advantage of you, make you his girlfriend for many years and not provide or not marry you, and then your youth goes to waste. So number one, ladies, I want you to get clear. I mean crystalline clear with what you want. And you need to decide that you are going to change, and you are the one that has the right to decide when you get to get married and when you are going to have kids. Many times we give the power away. We give the power to other men, and we wait for them to provide. We wait for them to propose. And many years pass by, you become someone's girlfriend, and then you stay there 4, 5, 7 years with no ring, and you have now all this trauma in your body, all these things you have to overcome and heal for you to go into a new relationship, and hopefully he will propose. So you need to get savage with your own destiny in your own life and decide that you are the one who decides when are you going to get married. So by this, I mean, you are going to date people that want marriage. You're going to stop dating guys that don't know what they want, are not ready to provide, are not ready to be parents, are not ready to be the leader of the household. So the issue is that many women now are just going into relationships, right? Because the girlfriend boyfriend is not a status. It's not a legal status. It's not a religious status. When you break up, there is nothing that protects you right there. He hasn't claimed you in front of his family on a spiritual level, financial level, government level, legal level. So there is nothing that backs you up, right? Maybe he made you Instagram official, but that's about it. And maybe he hasn't even posted pictures of you. So there is nothing. It's just a made up concept that we have created to become exclusive with someone. So you need to get savage. If you want to get married, you want to get proposed in 2024, you need to decide that you're going to get married. So you need to stop dating without a purpose. Many times when you are young, when I was young, when I was 22, of course I would go out on dates and nothing too serious, right? Because I was in college, I was studying. I knew I had time to waste basically in my youth, and I didn't know any better. But I knew that I wanted to get married in my late 20s. So at 26, I decided that I was going to stop dating without a purpose. You just go into these relationships, you last a year or two, nothing happens. Now you have all this trauma in your body. Now you slept with somebody, and when you sleep with somebody, you merge energetically. You go into a deeper level, and it takes up to 7 years to cleanse your energy, your spiritual body, to heal from that experience. So you need to be more aware and more picky. Who are you letting into your energy? And this is something that I learned later, now as a life coach, and now that I'm married, I went in depth about marriage and relationships, and I also coach clients now that want to get married. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did it right. It actually didn't really knowing what I was doing, but all I knew is that at 26, I wanted to start dating seriously. So I knew if I go into another relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, it will take 2 years out of my youth. Then you need some year to find yourself again, right? You need to heal, maybe some therapy, going out with your friends, changing your looks, losing some weight, finding new hobbies to find yourself again so you can heal and then be ready again to date. And hopefully that boyfriend, if it's not a messed up one, hopefully proposes. So you need to stop giving your power away to men that are not ready to be husbands, that are not ready to provide, that are not ready to become the leader of the house or a dad for your future kids. So number one is you have to decide that you are going to stop going out on useless or kind of like relationships without a purpose. Oh my God, it's windy here and my fire is trying to get lit. You need to get savage with what you really desire. It's so sad to see women that are in their 30s and they are in these long-term relationships hoping, kind of like begging the men to propose, and it's not going to work. You know that they're going to break up. Hopefully, they get married and it works out, but the man already feels that she's begging him to marry her. The girl is actually begging the guy to propose to her, and he's not going to feel that you are the prize. He's going to feel pressure. You don't want to go into a marriage in a lower position, in the down position. You need to be the goddess. You need to be the one that he chases, the one that he can't wait to marry you, the one that he can't wait to propose to take you off market. So what happens in these longer relationships when you are 30 and above, right? If you're in your early 20s, then you have a little more time to play around. But if you're in your late 30s, you're still waiting for a ring in this long-term relationship. And especially if you live with him already, he got the whole meal. He got the whole cake. There is nothing else to work for him. You gave it all for free. And I'm sorry if this is triggering, but these are advices that I will give a younger sister or that I will give my own daughter. It's painful to see women giving their power away and letting the men decide when do they get to be mothers, when do they get to be a wife. So we need to get serious. We need to start getting serious with our own life, owning our own decisions. And you need to start dating seriously for marriage. A way that you can do this is really going out on dates. Do not become someone's girlfriend, especially if you're in your late 30s. You get into these girlfriend status, you move in together, and then you hope after you gave everything for free, you hope he recognizes, right? Like you're proving yourself that you're worth it. Like he's testing you out, test driving you. And then hopefully he will give you a ring. It's not going to work like that. For some people work out, but then the woman is pressuring the guy to marry her, right? And he's like, I have to marry her, or they have kids without marriage. And you will always feel that he didn't work for you. He didn't chase you enough. How men are designed and wired is to chase, is to impress. Even in nature, there are species of birds that they do this dance. Oh my God, I was watching with my daughter the other day. There was this documentary on Netflix about like the jungles, and there was this set of birds, this species of birds. He will clean his space, and so he can wait for the, you know, the female bird, and then he will clean outside like his little nest. And the moment that a female shows up, he will make a dance. It was like a little black bird, and he will make the mating dance in hopes that the female will come and mate with him so he can reproduce. You see, so even birds have higher standards than you. And here you are waiting years, proving yourself to a guy, playing home, giving children to this man without a ring. Seriously, like, the bird has higher standards than you. So we need to claim our power back, claim our goddess power back. We cannot continue doing this. So if you want to get married, you need to stop going out to relationships without a purpose, especially if you're in your late 30s and what you really want is to become a mother. You know, it's going to take some time to plan a family, to, you know, plan your kids. And especially if you want more, then, you know, maybe you want to space them out, get used to them, find help, or maybe you want to have them back to back. All of this takes time. So as I say, when I was 26, I decided I wanted to date seriously and find my husband, because I knew it was going to take some time. I knew it was going to take some time to date, and then to propose, and then to meet the family, then to plan a wedding, get married, and then plan a baby, buy a house. And then I'm like, if we want more kids, I want to space them out 2-3 years in between, and then have another one. By that time, I'm going to be in my 30s. So I didn't want to wait that long. And the moment I decided, the moment I made my love list, I'm going to make another YouTube video talking about the love list and how can you really start making a list of values and qualities you're looking in a man. It's very important to have this list when you're trying to get married. So I had my list, and I will like preach that every day and thank the universe, God, angels for my husband. And I was praying for my husband, even though I haven't, you know, I didn't know my husband then. I was on it. I decided I was going to get married. 3 months later, after I decided, I met my current husband. We met online, we met on an app, and the things work. I call him my soulmate. I truly know our souls recognize each other. We are truly soulmates. I know it. We know it. It's a connection like nothing we ever experienced before. We even say it until today. You know, until today, we've been together almost 5 years, and we always say like, oh my God, the connection that we have is like nothing else. Like every time we get together, it's like an amazing emotion that we have. And I know he's my soulmate. So it took time to, you know, get to know each other. And after 2 months, I really wanted to know if he was serious. So I asked him, hey, are we gonna be something more? Like, where is this going, right? That awkward conversation. But I was not gonna let my future in this man's hand. He was a stranger. I just met him I just knew him from 2 months. So I had to ask, where is this going? Because I had, you know, other contestants, other guys that wanted to maybe propose and do something more serious. So since I was calling in a man to marry, many showed up in that time frame. But I really felt a strong connection, like a soul level connection with this man. And he was also more stable, more mature. The level of maturity that he had, I knew he was going to be a good father, a good husband. And he really had the values, the same values as I had. So I wanted to give him the first shot, right? So I asked him, I'm really trying to date for marriage and do something more serious. Like, where are you standing? And I gave him, you know, an ultimatum. I say, look, if you really do not want anything more serious, then it's okay, because we met online. I respect you. It's just that I had other 2 guys that, you know, maybe one of them wants to propose and maybe one of them really wants to be my husband. So we didn't talk for a week, right? Like he got a little confused. I triggered his logical brain. But after a week, he came back and he said, you know what? You are the one. Give me an opportunity and let's start talking about the ring. Let's start talking about that. So we went into a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I did not anything better back then. This was 4 years ago, and I didn't know any of these boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. So I went into that relationship. I was 26. I felt that I had some time. By 6 months later, he proposed. I told him that I was not going to move in with nobody that was not my fiance at least, or my husband. I never lived with any men before, and I was not going to add that to my resume. And that experience, right? Like, I'm playing home with somebody. No, I don't want to play home. I want to make a home with somebody that is my husband, or at least a fiance. So he proposed. We moved in together the week that he proposed. And I told him, my culture, my mom is not going to approve, that I just go living with a man without a ring, without a commitment. Like, I'm not going to add that to my resume. I told him literally, what am I going to tell my future husband? What explanation am I going to give that I live with a man without any requirement of entry? I value myself too much to give myself for free like that. So I had my values, I had my standards, and he definitely did not want to lose me. In 6 months, he custom made my ring the way that I wanted it. We were very in love. He proposed exactly 6 months after we had that conversation that we were going to go into a more formal relationship before commitment, before an engagement. He proposed, and we were going to marry 6 months after that, but then COVID hit. So we had to postpone the wedding. We were going to get married in Guatemala. We had to cancel the wedding planner, the trip, the flights, everything there. Because of the pandemic, but we married exactly a year after. Because of the pandemic, we had to wait. We couldn't do the wedding that we wanted, but we waited a year, exactly a year. In November 2020, we got married, and it was just the family. It was just us, like a very intimate wedding, because we couldn't have more than 15 people, but it worked out better. At that point, I did not want a big wedding. I just wanted to be married so we can start planning our family, buying more properties together, buy our home together. And I just wanted to start the marriage, right? We were engaged for a year. What happens with long engagements also, when you wait more than a year or 2 years, then you start already kind of getting frustrated, right? Engagement is to plan a wedding, not to have kids, is not to start a family, is to plan a wedding. So you want to get the ring, then start planning and get married ASAP. Because marriage is a beautiful place. That's when really the challenge starts. Many women think that, oh, I got the ring, then I'm done, right? Like, I got him. No, girl, you start working, doing your inner work as soon as you get married. That's when the true triggers are going to come out. That's when your inner work is going to start, because marriage is a place to heal, is a place to heal things that you maybe had in your childhood, right? Like, wounds that came from family units in your childhood get healed in family units like your marriage. So we've been able to grow a lot together. We've been married for 3 years, and it's an amazing relationship. It's a woman that truly want marriage and to be married and start a family. I want to see them happy, because this is a beautiful place, especially when you are provided for and your roles in marriage. I'm not saying follow this, follow that, but you with your husband are going to decide what roles are we committed to, who is going to be the feminine, the masculine, right? Like, what roles am I going to play in this marriage? And that's something you get to decide, because not everything works for everybody. But if you're a woman that wants to get married, you want to start a family, and you're begging the guy to marry you, stop it. Value yourself. Please have some standards for yourself. Don't enter a marriage or an engagement begging the man to marry you. He's going to feel that you are at that dumb position. He's going to feel like he's the prize. Like, she's just begging me. Like, I have to marry her. Please don't do that to yourself. I even have conversations with my husband, and I ask him, he's a very healthy masculine man, and I ask him, what do you think about women that beg men for marriage or beg men to have kids with them? And he said, you know what? No, we are the ones that like to chase. We like to feel that we won the prize, that we won the race, because that's just how they're wired. There are some great books about how men are wired. One book is, I think that the book, it's called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, or backwards. This is a very old book, but explains exactly how men and women are wired. We're just different. I know these times right now we're fighting for equality in worthiness, not equality in how we are wired. Okay, it's just different. We're just different people. And when you beg somebody to marry you, you are putting yourself in the down position. So men love to feel that they won the biggest prize, the nicest woman, the most beautiful woman, the most sexy woman to have kids with, the most feminine or strong woman. So when you're begging someone, you look like you lost your power. You look like you don't value yourself. So value yourself. And if you're in these long relationships that he hasn't even proposed and you're just waiting for him to get a ring for you, maybe it's time to reconsider. Does he even have what I require in a husband? Do I even know what I want in a husband? Do I even have a love list? Is him a reciprocal of that list? Like, does he match my love list? You need to start asking these questions. Remember, the boyfriend and girlfriend relationship is not a status. You can break that relationship up and then go find a real husband. It might take some time for you to heal, to do some inner work, to align your values, your qualities that you're looking in a husband. Don't leave your future in someone's hands. Many women, we tend to give or permission or value to someone else to decide. You get to decide. If you want to get married, you decide, and you do not let anybody get on your way or tell you when you can become a mom, when you get to be a wife. No. When you are truly aligned, you want to be a feminine wife in your marriage, you want a masculine provider, then you make your love list and you go get the man. Because when your values align, when you're aligned with the universe, men are going to show up. Men are going to show up, and you're going to be even surprised that many men show up. And this is something I'm working on with some of my clients. Some of my clients want to get married, and we're working on rotational dating, which means that you're dating for marriage. You're not dating to become someone's girlfriend. You just are going on dates to meet people. And dating, rotational dating, doesn't mean you're going to sleep with these men, right? We're not talking about these things over here. We're talking about divine union, marriage. You get to know people, and then you do not wait 5 years for a ring. We're trying to accelerate the process. So I'm working with some clients. We made love lists. We talk about the non-negotiables in relationships. I'm going to share a little bit more of how to make a love list for your husband if you want to find a new husband in 2024 in the next video. How to truly become the reciprocal of that list, because many times we add a long list of things that we want in a man, but we are not even half of it, right? Like, if you want a super alpha man, then you have to be the reciprocal of an alpha man. What is a man at that caliber is going to wait on a woman, right? So you need to also make sure you're working on yourself, doing your inner work on your self-esteem, your feminine energy, your feminine embodiment, your looks. You also have to have, the looks, the standard for your own beauty. Every woman is very beautiful, and makeup and clothing and jewelry is just to make yourself look a little bit better, bring your own beauty, not to look like something different or like someone else. It's just to embrace your own beauty. So you need to have, some high standards, some standards for your beauty. Take care of yourself, take care of your body if you want to have kids in the future. So you start preparing as a wife. So this is something that some practices we do with my clients. I help them to prepare to be a wife, right? Like, what are you waiting? You need to start making room for your husband. You need to start embodying the wife energy. And it's so fun to work with them because this is what they truly want. They want to get married. One already decided that she's going to get married like next year. She's like, I'm married next year. And it's very beautiful. So ladies, I have exciting news to tell you. Currently, I have 30% off in all my life coaching packages and online courses. I have an online course in Spanish, and also have the Money Master class, which is more than 2 hours talking about the energetics of money. That's at 30% discount. And all my life coaching packages also have 30% discount. I'm going to leave the discount until Monday 28th. You can use the discount code Diosa, which means goddess. So I'm going to leave it right here. And I'm also going to leave the link in the description below, so you can get your 30% off if you're interested in working with me. If you want to claim your husband for next year, we can start embodying some of the wife energy and really align the things that you want in a husband. Start aligning your life for marriage, so we can start working on that. I have packages of 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and also I have an intensive of 12 weeks. Some of my clients love the 12-week one because it takes some time for the brain to, in the subconscious, to start transforming the new habits and new beliefs that we work on. They love the 12-week one, but if you want something faster, we definitely can work 4 weeks or 6 weeks together. to call in your husband, to call in your provider, to call in your man for next year 2024. So if that's something that interests you, I will take advantage of that. You do not want to miss this 30% off. So I will leave everything in the description box below. So this was the class for today, ladies. Let me know if you really enjoyed this topic about relationships, about marriage. Leave me a comment below asking some questions or some comments if this resonates with you, and if it doesn't, it's okay, right? Not all content here has to apply for every woman, but I'm saying if you want to get married, if you want to get the ring next year and become a mom, a wife, you need to start getting serious and become a little more savage with your future. So I love you, my goddesses, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.